After feeling happy about Jarasanda's defeat and satisfying Lord Krishna, King Yudhisthira arranged to perform the Rajasuya. He invited all the qualified brahmanas and sages to take part and appointed them to different positions as priests in charge of the sacrificial arena. The Brahmana priests and sages in charge of the sacrificial ceremony constructed the sacrificial arena as usual with a plow and utensils made of gold, and they initiated King Yudhisthira as the performer of the great sacrifice, in accordance with Vedic rituals. In order to participate in the great sacrifice performed by King Yudhisthira, all the exalted demigods like Brahma, Shiva, and Indra, accompanied by their associates, predominating deities of higher planetary systems, and as well as famous kings and their queens, were all present by the invitation of King Yudhisthira. King Yudhisthira very respectfully received the special priest who had been engaged to detect any mistake in the formalities of sacrificial procedures. In this age of Kali, there is no such learned Brahmana or priest available. Therefore, all such sacrifices are forbidden. The only sacrifice recommended in the Sastras is the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Another important procedure is that the most exalted personality in the assembly of such a sacrificial ceremony is first offered worship. Yudhishthira's younger brother, Sahdeva, began to speak in favor of Lord Krishna. He said,
Lord Krishna, the best amongst the members of the Yadu dynasty and the protector of his devotees, is the most exalted personality in this assembly. Therefore I think that he should without any objection be offered the honor of being worshipped first. Although demigods such as Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and many other exalted personalities are present in this assembly, no one can be equal to or greater than Krishna in terms of time, space, riches, strength, reputation, wisdom, renunciation, or any other consideration.
All the members present in that great sacrificial assembly applauded, confirming his words continuously by saying,
Everything that you have said is completely perfect.
King Yudhisthira worshipped Lord Krishna according to the regulative principles of the Vedic injunctions. At that time, all the members present in that assembly stood up with folded hands and began to chant, Jaya, Jaya, Nama, Rama. When all joined together to offer their respectful obeisances to Krishna, there were showers of flowers from the sky. Sisupala was also present. He was an avowed enemy of Krishna for many reasons, especially because of Krishna's having married Rukmini. Sisupala went crazy because of Krishna's being elected the supreme first worshipped person in that meeting, and he behaved so irresponsibly that it appeared that he had lost all his good fortune. All the kings present became very angry and immediately took up their swords and shields to kill Sisupala. Sisupala's friends were ready to fight too. In order to prevent people from dying during Rajasuya, Lord Krishna killed Sisupala. Lord Krishna thus enabled the performance of the Rajasuya yajna arranged by King Yudhisthira to be successfully completed, and, being requested by his cousins and relatives, he remained in Hastinapura for a few months more. The demigods, the inhabitants of the Pitraloka and Gandharvaloka, as well as many sages, showered flowers from the sky. The men and women of Hastinapura, Indraprastha, their bodies smeared with scents and floral oils, were nicely dressed in colorful garments and decorated with garlands, jewels, and ornaments. They were all enjoying the ceremony, and they threw on each other liquid substances like water, oil, milk, butter, and yogurt. All the liquid substances had been mixed with turmeric and saffron, and their color was a lustrous yellow. In order to observe the great ceremony, many wives of the many demigods had come in different airplanes, and they were visible in the sky. Similarly, the queens of the royal family arrived gorgeously decorated and surrounded by bodyguards on the surface of different palanquins. Following the Rajasuya sacrifice, there was the Vedic ritualistic duty known as Patnasamayaja. This sacrifice was performed along with one's wife, and it was also duly performed by the priests of King Yudhisthira. Persons who had participated in the Rajasuya sacrifice were all very much satisfied by the dealings of King Yudhisthira, and at the end they happily departed for their residences. After the departure of all others, Maharaja Yudhisthira restrained the inner circle of his friends, including Lord Krishna, by not allowing them to leave. Lord Krishna could not refuse the request of the king. He therefore sent back all the heroes of the Yadu dynasty, like Samba and others. All of them returned to Dvaraka, and Lord Krishna personally remained in order to give pleasure to the king. When Duryodhana saw that Maharaja Yudhisthira had become very famous after performance of the Rajasuya yajna and was fully satisfied in every respect, he began to burn with a fire of envy because his mind was always poisonous. For one thing, he envied the imperial palace which had been constructed by the demon Maya for the Pandavas. In that great palace, the Pandavas were living with their family members, and Queen Draupadi was there living with the Pandavas very peacefully. Lord Krishna was also there in his multi-forms with the queens. Duryodhana became envious. He became especially envious and lustful upon seeing the beauty of Draupadi, because he had cherished a special attraction for her from the very beginning of her marriage with the Pandavas. In the marriage selection assembly of Draupadi, Duryodhana had also been present, and with other princes he had been very much captivated by the beauty of Draupadi, but had failed to achieve her. Once upon a time, King Yudhisthira was sitting on the golden throne in the palace constructed by the demon Maya. His 4 brothers and other relatives, as well as his great well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, were present, and the material opulence of King Yudhisthira seemed no less than that of Lord Brahma. When he was sitting on the throne surrounded by his friends, and the reciters were offering prayers to him in the form of nice songs, Duryodhana, with his younger brother, came to the palace. Duryodhana was decorated with a helmet, and he carried a sword in his hand. He was always in an envious and angry mood, and therefore, on a slight provocation, he spoke sharply with the doorkeepers and became angry. He was irritated because he failed to distinguish between water and land. By the craftsmanship of the demon Maya, the palace was so decorated in different places that one who did not know the tricks would consider water to be land and land to be water. Duryodhana was also illusioned by this craftsmanship, and when he was crossing water thinking it to be land, he fell down. When Duryodhana, out of his foolishness, had thus fallen, the queens enjoyed the incident by laughing. King Yudhisthira could understand the feelings of Duryodhana, and he tried to restrain the queens from laughing, but Lord Krishna indicated that King Yudhisthira should not restrain them from enjoying the incident. Krishna desired that Duryodhana might be fooled in that way, and that all of them might enjoy his foolish behavior. When everyone laughed, Duryodhana felt very insulted, and his hairs stood up in anger. Being thus insulted, he immediately left the palace. When Duryodhana left in such an angry mood, everyone regretted the incident, and King Yudhisthira also became very sorry. It appeared that it was a part of Krishna's plan in his mission to decrease the burden of the demoniac men in this world. Please stay tuned for more of Lord Krishna's stories and read the Krishna book by Srila Prabhupada. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Radharani and Lord Krishna bless you all.